before Israel state was established. I mean, Israel is so old, but now it's only 58 years. And we are going to introduce an era in history in the beginning of the 20th century. So please pay attention to the words, pay attention to the things that these people say, and you will learn a lot.
The Uganda Proposal. Theodore Herzl sought support from the great powers for the creation of a Jewish homeland. He turned to Great Britain and met with Joseph Chamberlain, the British colonial secretary, and others. The British agreed in principle to Jewish settlement in East Africa on conditions which will enable members to observe their national customs. At the 6th Zionist Congress at Basel on August 26, 1903, Herzl proposed the British Uganda program as a temporary refuge for Jews in Russia in immediate danger. By a vote of 295 to 178, it was decided to send an expedition investigatory commission to examine the territory proposed. This is the debate about Uganda. I will now introduce the members of the 6th Zionist Congress. Max Nordau, writer, physician, co-founder of the World Zionist Organization, and close friend of Herzl. Yeshiva Atlanta, physician, born in the Ukraine, leader of Zion, a group that opposed the Uganda plan. Nachman Sirkin, born in Belarusia, writer and leader of socialist Zionism, and an early sponsor of the idea for a national Jewish fund. Shmaria Levin, Hebrew and Yiddish author, born in Belarusia, and later helped establish the Technion Empire. Israel Zangor, English author who later founded the Jewish Territorial Organization and dedicated to the creation of a Jewish territory in a country that was not necessarily Palestine. Leo Motzkin, scientist who abandoned his career to devote himself to the Jewish national cause. Chaim Weizmann, scientist born in Russia, later the president of the World Zionist Organization and the first president of the State of Israel.
Could that possibly be the famous English author, Israel Zangwill? Mr. Zangwill, let me introduce myself. I'm Leo Motzkin from Kiev. I'm a big fan of yours. Your books make me laugh.
That's good because there doesn't seem to be much to laugh about these days.
Yes, the pogrom in Kishinev shocked us all. 45 Jews dead, 86 wounded, and over 1,500 homes and businesses destroyed. Absolutely terrible.
Why are you shocked? You're from Russia. This is certainly not the first pogrom you've heard of.
Sadly, no. It's 1903 now. You think that the world would tolerate such irrational hatred? The American President Roosevelt delivered a letter of protest about the pogrom to the Tsar. Did you hear?
I heard that the Tsar refused to accept it.
Exactly. Nobody cares.
Look around you. There are 600 delegates at this Zionist Congress. We all know the problem and we all care. We can find a solution. Let's go sit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th Zionist Congress.
Looks like Theodore Herzl is calling the meeting to order.
I am pleased to greet you here in Basel, Switzerland, to discuss plans for a future Jewish state. But first, let me announce some very exciting news. It seems that after the devastating news from Kishinev, there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the next Jewish colony.
Woo! What?
It's not Israel. It's not Israel.
Map of East Africa? What is the meaning of this? Where's the map of Palestine?
Maria, Yehia, sit down please. Allow Dr. Herzl to speak.
gentlemen, please allow me to explain. I recently had a meeting with Joseph Chamberlain, the British Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs, and he offered to give us a Jewish state in Uganda.
Preposterous.
Let me finish. We all heard of the atrocities that took place in Kishinev. I myself visited the area and witnessed the desperate conditions of our people there. So where can these refugees flee? And how many more pogroms must be endured before we put an end to Jewish hatred once and for all? I'm convinced that the only way to rid ourselves of anti-Semitism is by establishing a Jewish state.
In Palestine?
Gentlemen, order, please.
Of course in Palestine. This is merely the first step. Uganda is not Zion and will never be Zion. This is nothing more than a relief measure. We can accept Uganda, provide a haven for oppressed Jews throughout the world, and demonstrate that we're able to form a government. We'll be able to establish a relationship with the British and ultimately persuade them to give us Eretz Israel. It's an opportunity to save lives and nurture powerful relationships to achieve our goal. I believe that we can't refuse this offer.
Listen to reason. We are the voices from the future, the souls of millions of Jews who will perish in countless pogroms and the Holocaust. Without the Uganda plan, we have no hope.
If I may, Theodore.
Of course.
Gentlemen, we need to consider Uganda as a naftizel, a refuge for the night. This is temporary. Ultimately, our goal is to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. I have no doubts that we will achieve that goal.
Allow me to voice my concerns. I'm filled with joy that a great European power, for the first time since the destruction of the temple, has recognized the national demands of the Jewish people. But I'm sorry that we must refuse this offer because our needs can only be satisfied by Palestine.
Listen to history. We are the voices from the past, the blood and tears of the Jewish people exiled from our holy land, forever yearning to return. We are the ninth of, the broken glass at every wedding, and the endless prayers that beg for return to Jerusalem. With the Uganda plan, our dreams are dashed.
You're far too polite, YomHaAtzmaut. Why this madness? A Jewish homeland in East Africa? What is Zionism without Zion?
Calm down, Yeshiva YA. The Uganda plan holds promise.
It's treachery. We are here because we share a goal, to return to Zion. What has become of this goal?
How are we to proceed if everyone shouts at once? I think we would benefit from a level-headed response to this plan. Yes, Israel, please speak up.
I believe that Dr. Herzl's plan makes sense. Ideally, for Zion. The lives are at stake here. Frankly, I can't believe that Mr. Technow and Mr. Levin are not in favor of this plan. They both come from Russia, and they understand the gravity of the situation. I believe that a chosen people is really a choosing people. We can choose a dream, or we can choose to save lives.
Well said, Israel.
Look to the future. Without a temporary haven, we are condemned. The Uganda plan can save us. Remember our heritage. By accepting Uganda, we risk forsaking Zion. Mr. President, if I may.
Of course. Gentlemen, please give your attention to Chaim Weizmann.
Thank you. I was born in the Russian Pale, and I understand how badly our people need refuge. Yet, I must still oppose this plan. I grew up praying daily for God to return us to Zion, and I can't easily ignore these powerful traditions. Zionism cannot only be a response to anti-Semitism. It is much deeper than that. It's a yearning for Eretz Israel as the historical homeland of our people. We cannot give up that dream, not even temporarily.
That dream is suicide for our people. If people can murder innocent Jews in 1903, what will happen 10, 20, 40 years from now?
Sit down, Hoffman. You are out of order.
You may be a brilliant chemist, Dr. Weizmann, but you'll never be a politician.
Here's politics for you. Why would the British, or anyone for that matter, entertain the thought of ever giving us Palestine if we're all happily settled in East Africa? Accepting this offer won't pave the way to Eretz Israel. Quite the contrary, it will destroy our chances of ever attaining it.
I've heard enough. This
This is no place for a Zionist. I will be sitting on the floor in the next room, mourning for Jerusalem. Anyone who agrees with me is free to join.
We're with you.
You people have a noose around your necks, and still you won't listen to reason. The issue, Yechiel, listen to me. Don't allow the issue to divide us. Our unity is our greatest strength. You know me. Would I forsake Zion? Trust me, Yechiel. Please.
Let us return to our seats. I suggest we go to investigate East Africa. Who is with us?
We're with you.
Can't make up my mind, Israel. I'll have to abstain.
I too must abstain. I disagree with the plan, but I respect Dr. Herzl.
All in favor of considering the Uganda plan? Opposed? The results are 295 in favor, 178 opposed, 98 abstentions.
Gentlemen, let us conclude on a hopeful note. I wish to emphasize that the Uganda plan is meant to be temporary. To those of you who fear otherwise, may I say, if I forget Jerusalem, may my right hand lose its coming.
The Uganda plan threatened to split the Zionist movement, but the idea was ultimately put to rest when the British later withdrew their offering. Sadly, the struggle aggravated Herzl's heart condition, and he died 1 year after the 6th Zionist Congress at the age of 44. Little did he know that his efforts on behalf of Zionism would lead to the establishment of Israel in 1948, less than 50 years later.